Always becoming equals dying to self. Man, this is going to be really popular on podcast episodes. Let's die together, people. Let's literally bury our flesh so that we can exist in the Christ-likeness that dwells inside of us. So that Christ can actually have his way here on earth as it is in heaven. Because isn't that the point? Isn't that the point? I need you guys to comprehend this for this next part to take root and for you to actually activate. And the church, man, the church has to activate. And I know for some of you, when I say the church, you immediately go to that like 4-boxed wall, that place where people hurt you, that place that you got kicked out, the place where you felt rejected, the place that got abandoned you, the place that said the wrong thing to you and ruffled your feathers so you never went back, the place where the pastor who was the main pastor of the building was acting in his flesh and wasn't becoming. In fact, he was operating out of that place of personal will or personal desire, and it shocked you to the core that you no longer trust this 4-wall entity called the church. Secret. That is not the church. It's not. People have called it the church. They've made it the church, the iglesia. But Christ's intention was for you to be the church. You, personally, be the church. So if always becoming, which is always dying, is synonymous to Christ-like dwelling inside of us, the church exists here. In this dichotomy, in this beauty, in this knowing that we cannot possibly be perfect, and therefore the only perfect one to pursue and operate out of is Christ. And yet we're also an open-armed, open-doored seat at the table for people to come and dwell out of our compassion, out of our vulnerability, out of our desire to help steward. This is discipleship. Because if I know something that you don't know and I keep it to myself, that's not very Christ-like. Now, there is times where wisdom closes her mouth, and this is important because we can't always be talking. I am learning and receiving way more than I am talking, which is wild because I talk sometimes like 7 or 8 hours a day. But it is true because I wake up before the sun and I'm falling asleep learning as I'm processing with God. You always have an opportunity to learn. So if you say you don't have time to learn something new, and I hear people say this, it's the silliest thing ever. I don't have time to go back to school. I'm not in school, but I am schooled every single day. That is for sure. And so you do have time to learn. You do have time to receive. Those of you who are hanging out right now, you're learning. Hopefully having personal revelations.